During the golden age of British cinema, the Carry On film series was essentially the preeminent source of cheeky humor and risqué adventures, entertaining audiences with its mix of slapstick comedy and innuendos. Our journey today delves into the untold tales of the Carry On series, revealing the secrets and surprises that unfolded off camera. Facts First presents The Carry On Girls reveal the secrets of filming sex scenes. Origins and early roadblocks. The Carry On series, a hallmark of British comedy, began with Carry On Sergeant in 1958. Filmed at Queen's Barracks, Guildford, on a modest budget of £78,000, it set the tone for the economical yet creative production style that characterized the series. The choice of location and budget constraints were a testament to the resourcefulness of the team. Interestingly, George Cole, known for his role in Minder, was considered for a key role in this inaugural film, but ultimately never appeared in any of the Carry On movies. Casting what-ifs and unique appearances. The casting process for the Carry On films was filled with intriguing possibilities. Comedians Spike Milligan and Eric Sykes were initially approached to write the screenplay for what became Carry On Sergeant. Bob Monkhouse made his only appearance in the series in this film, with producer Peter Rogers noting that Monkhouse's strong individual presence set him apart from the ensemble cast. Rejected film ideas. The creative minds behind Carry On contemplated various concepts that never materialized. Ideas such as Carry On Smoking, Carry On Flying, Carry On Spaceman, and Carry On Dallas were considered but ultimately not pursued. Trademark humor and scriptwriting. The Carry On films were renowned for their distinctive humor, a blend of parody, farce, and double entendre. Norman Hudis, a writer for the first 6 films, often drew inspiration from real-life situations, including anecdotes from his nurse wife for Carry On Nurse. Later, Talbot Rothwell took over, infusing the scripts with his signature double entendres and innuendos, shaping the series' iconic style. On-set professionalism. Despite the comedic nature of the series, the sets were marked by professionalism. Actors like Sid James, who trained as a hairdresser in South Africa, brought diverse backgrounds and experiences to their roles. The filming wasn't without challenges. For instance, Charles Hawtrey collapsed on set during Carry On Spying due to being held upside down too long in a scene, showcasing the physical demands of the comedic performances. Financial struggles. One of the less glamorous aspects of the Carry On series was the financial struggle faced by its stars. Despite the film's immense popularity and success, the actors were often underpaid. Dame Barbara Windsor, a key figure in the series, highlighted the inequity in an interview, expressing frustration over the lack of compensation for television reruns of the films. This financial disparity was particularly striking given the millions generated by the franchise. Risks and dangers on set. The filming of the Carry On series certainly had its risks and dangers, often exacerbated by the production's stringent budget. A notable incident involved actress Amanda Berry during the filming of Carry On Cleo. Berry faced a perilous situation when she was almost scalded due to a malfunctioning thermostat during a bath scene. Humiliation and pressure. Behind the scenes, some actors experienced humiliation and pressure, particularly in preparing for roles that demanded a certain physical appearance. Amanda Berry's experience of being sent to a hormone specialist for her role in Carry On Cleo is a poignant example. This pressure to conform to specific physical standards, especially for female actors, highlights a darker aspect of the industry at that time. Challenges with cast dynamics. The dynamics among the Carry On cast were complex and not always harmonious. Kenneth Williams, a prominent star of the series, was known for his mercurial temperament, which could be a challenge for his co-stars. His unpredictable behavior, such as an incident where he unexpectedly tore off Amanda Berry's dressing gown, left some cast members feeling uncomfortable. Technological milestones and innovations. Carry On Cruising in 1962 marked the series' transition to color film, a significant technological milestone. The production team often had to be creative due to budget constraints, such as building a full-scale replica ocean liner at Pinewood Studios for Carry On Cruising. These innovations were crucial in maintaining the series' high entertainment value despite financial limitations. Cultural impact. The Carry On films left an unforgettable mark on British culture. They were celebrated for their humor and satirical take on various aspects of society, from the NHS to the monarchy. However, they also faced criticism, with some films like Carry On Screaming being regarded as dull by critics. The series' ability to resonate with audiences, however, while navigating critical reception, is a testament to its cultural significance. The Art of Improv. One of the lesser-known aspects of the Carry On series was the cast's penchant for improvisation. While the scripts were tightly written, actors like Sid James and Kenneth Williams were known for their ability to ad-lib, adding an extra layer of humor and spontaneity to the scenes. This improvisational skill not only brought a unique freshness to each film, but it also allowed the actors to infuse their personal comedic styles into their characters. The role of music and sound effects. Music and sound effects played a pivotal role in enhancing the comedic impact of the Carry On films. The series often employed exaggerated sound effects to complement the visual gags, a technique that added to the slapstick nature of the comedy. The music, often composed by Eric Rodgers, was carefully crafted to match the mood of the scenes, ranging from playful and lighthearted to dramatic and suspenseful. Sex scene secrets revealed. Gerald Thomas, the director, was keenly aware of the sensitivities involved in filming suggestive scenes. He adopted an innovative approach to ensure the comfort and dignity of the actresses. Notably, once the necessary shots involving the female actors were completed, they were allowed to leave the set. This practice was not common in the industry at the time and highlighted Thomas's commitment to creating a respectful environment for his cast. Kenneth Williams, one of the series' most iconic actors, shared insights into this process. He revealed how, in the absence of the actress, Gerald Thomas himself would step in to provide the necessary reactions and cues for the male actors. This method was not only respectful, but also ensured that the comedic timing and essence of the scene were maintained without compromising the actress's comfort. The filming of the famous bikini scene in Carry On Camping is a prime example of the series' approach to suggestive content. The scene, where Barbara Windsor's bikini top famously comes off, was achieved using a fishing rod and a line. This ingenious method was devised to create the comedic effect while ensuring Windsor was not placed in an uncomfortable position during filming. Actresses in the Carry On series often spoke about the supportive environment on set, especially during scenes that could be deemed sensitive. The production team's efforts to maintain a professional and respectful atmosphere were well received by the cast, contrasting with the broader industry norms of the time. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of the Carry On series? Let us know in the comments section below.